Well, we're in the kitchen with Korey Kealey from Kitchen Konnected, and she has put my Sunday prep to shame. I've been really kind of proud of the investment that I make on Sundays, kind of going to get my groceries, coming back, and at least chopping and doing something to help me for all the snacks. This is when I look at you and I am in awe because you have thought things through. And when you're doing things, you've thought ahead to what it's going to be like for the rest of the week.
Well, I just like to go and buy fruits and vegetables that inspire me sometimes. And then sometimes it's the basics that I know I'm using in almost every meal. And if I can fast track that a little bit, so when we're in a rush or I don't even feel like cooking, sometimes just peeling an onion seems like a lot of work. So so what I did today was a kind of an exercise. I went to the grocery store. I bought all the vegetables and things that I thought that you can, they're going to help you if you want to do a low carb diet. I know that's a big thing right now. So what are we going to do to cut out pastas and breads and stuff like that? And then I got my basics, the onions, the carrots, the celery, the peppers, then our sweet potatoes, and then onions. And it's just stuff that you can throw together. Never even mind the lettuce and stuff like that, but kind of more the stuff that you might make a soup, a stew, stuffed peppers or whatever. So that's where I started.
You started. Okay, now I'm looking at this display.
Okay.
I'm thinking this took you a day.
No.
Okay, where did you start and how long did this take?
So I gave myself 1 hour because I was like, that's really the most someone's going to have. But if you have an hour and you know that you're going to get a lot of production done in that time, you're willing to do it. So as I unpacked my groceries, instead of putting it all in my fridge, I just put it out on the counter and then I just started. The first thing I started with was my spaghetti squash. It is an amazing, amazing substitute for pasta. It has almost no flavor. You can cook this either in the microwave or you can do it in the oven. I did it in the oven because I didn't want to keep checking it. So I cut it in half, scrape out all the seeds, and then you just put it face down in a little bit of water like this, and then bake it at 350. I think it took about 35 minutes to be done. But when you poke it like that and you can see it's kind of soft.
Okay.
So then it's done. So when you take that, so I started with that because while that's cooking, then I've got all that hands-free time. So look at this, just peels like this away. It's so delicious. You can put any sauce on this. You can put pesto, you can put tomato sauce, you can make a nice like sausage ragu or bolognese and put it on there. And I do this with my family and they like it. I've also used it in salad cold, just add because it's got a nice crunch to it.
Okay, so that was one of the first things that you did, and then this is going to be something that you're going to be able to reuse. How do you store it? I've seen how you do it.
So that's what I do. So these plastic bags are incredible, right? Like you can put them, stack them in the fridge. They can go right into your freezer. So if let's say the end of the week you haven't quite used and you don't want to waste it, just toss it in the freezer because then it's there later for soup. Okay. So basically that's all you're going to do is just put it in there. Label it, say spaghetti squash used in a soup, or give yourself a reminder. I do this all the time. I think, I'll know what that is. And then I open my fridge and I'm like, oh, geez, what is that? When did I make it? So that's that. So that's cooking. So then while that was cooking, I took a full bag of onions. You buy the bag of onions, right? And if your eyes are going to cry, they might as well cry once. And I just cut the ends off, peeled the skin off. And I cook a lot with onions. And I have a hungry family, I think. Maybe more.
You're very big kids.
So you might not need to do all this in a massive bag, but like this actually made me, this is the thing I'm the most happy about is the onions, because when my onions start, everything else falls into place. So I've got my onions. Carrots, again, just get your carrots going and don't feel like you have to chop them up already. If they're already peeled, put a little bit of water in there. I've got a couple parsnips. I kind of cleaned out my fridge and just got it in there. So you've got my carrots, my onions, and then celery. So I kind of did my celery in 2 bags. These ones, my kids won't eat these leaves, but I love the celery leaf. And even if you don't eat the leaf, you can just chop that up and put it in soup. So you've got your celery that you can use as a veggie dip, or then you chop it up for soup, whatever. So those are kind of the staples in my house: celery, onions, carrots.
Okay, and I love what you've done with the onions because I do buy this, and then I always it's such a great added seasoning, but sometimes I forget that they're in there, and then by the end of the week they're so
freeze,
they wither down.
Yeah. So this is one bunch fits into a snack size bag. So I just chop it up, and it's great on soups, salads, wraps. It just adds that little flavor. Ready to go. Cabbage is an amazing volume thing. Like I made a stir fry last night and put like 8 cups of cabbage and it shrinks down. It's crunchy. It is so good for you. But if you just leave your cabbage in the fridge whole, you're not going to use it. I don't anyways. Like I just stare at it and it stresses me out. But if I chop it up, so this is half a cabbage is in this bag. I could do 2 bags. You can toss this into anything. So that's ready to go. You can make a coleslaw, and you might just get inspiration. So that's that.
Okay, and can I just ask what this is?
Yeah, so when I was spiralizing, there's all these pieces of the zucchini and the beets and stuff. And you know there's always pieces of the pepper that don't work out. I just throw them all in a bag and toss it in the freezer. I don't like to throw anything out. And then later, just toss that whole bag with an onion, a carrot, and a celery and some broth. Make it tender, puree it.
My veggie soup?
It's veggie soup. And it'll never be the same, and it'll always be delicious.
And most of us don't have, or do we have one of these?
So I think, here's the thing, peppers. So, and the thing about the peppers, I'm just going to say that first, is that I was going to chop them up for like, as if a dipping, but then I thought, no, because you don't always want, like you could actually put some chicken salad in that and eat it like as a little sandwich or something. So you can use these things in different ways. So, but just get it started, wash, clean, put away. Squeeze the air out when you're closing it, because air and moisture is what will help things to deteriorate. So that's another tip. So spiralizer. Another way to replace pasta or noodles are these zucchini. Sweet potato is incredible spiralized. And then this is like, look at how pretty that is. That's like a candy cane beet. And they're really good. So you can eat these raw or you can blanch it. I like to make a Thai noodle salad or a soup where you just put the noodles, pour hot broth over it. It kind of blanches them, top with some chicken, shredded onions, and that's your meal. And put a little soy sauce and ginger or something on it. So like really, really simple, but once you've got this done, you're ready to roll.
Well, that's how I feel right now, is that you've been able to do that. I'm gonna kind of wrap us here. I want to come back and actually learn how it is.
Yes.
That you spiralize, because this looks like a torture chamber for me right now. So we're going to be able to do that, but really take a look at this table and have a great understanding that you do some of the work prior to. You've got some great ideas building your way as you make it through the week. And for more information, of course, you can find it at Kitchen Konnected.